Welcome back to World Crisis Radio. So the upshot of that discussion of the Middle East is that this wave of destabilizations is behaving somewhat like the British destabilization of Europe that's usually called the 1848 revolution. This was done by the British with the help of Mazzini, Marx, Bakunin, Young, Europe, and all the rest of it. In that case, the turning of the tide came in June. The June days in Paris, 1848, were continent-wide the turning point. And after that, it was the victories of the reactionaries, as so-called at the time, who carried the day. So we may be approaching something similar. In other words, this may be behaving somewhat like the previous wave. We'll have to see. But now, in the meantime, let's switch over to the domestic front. And let's see now, what is the situation? Because, of course, just before this bin Laden circus began, we had Obama coming out with those documents that purported to be his birth certificate. And, of course, these were not original documents, and they were subject to all kinds of questions, the anachronisms in the terminology used, the anachronistic race terminology. But let's get an update of the current situation from Phil Berg in Philadelphia, who began this entire campaign August 21st, 2008. So welcome, Phil. Give us the lowdown.
Well, the lowdown, first off, thank you for being on. It's Philip Berg, ObamaCrimes.com. Right now, we're just excited about all the that's transpiring, and we're getting ready to make some new moves we haven't done yet. But, Trump really brought this to a head. It forced Obama to come out with a birth certificate, which we're still reviewing, but the initial review by many, many people is that it's a fraudulent document. It's a forged document. And can you believe the audacity of the, I don't even want to say president, the audacity of the resident in the White House to try to pull a fast one off on everybody. I mean, number one, the document was prepared in PDF form, and that means, I'm not that technical on it, but because you can PDF a document afterwards, but this was done originally by PDF, and PDF did not exist in 1961. Remember, this is supposed to be a copy of his long-form birth certificate. But if you notice, there's no weight of the baby on it, no length of the baby on there. The number on the birth certificate is different. Someone else, we have an individual who was born, I think the day after, but or the day before, but the numbers don't jive. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable that they would do something like this, because now they're up for fraud, and it's so hard to believe. But just going around, I have more and more phone calls from people who doubted me in the past and say, Phil, I think you're right. And, people are calling me a hero on this. I said, look, I'm no hero. I said, I'm trying to do this for our country because it's a disgrace. It really is a disgrace. So we're even getting people annoyed with the Republicans. Why Darrell Issa is not holding a hearing. We're trying to come out with some package against everyone. We're getting ready to file that new lawsuit I mentioned under the False Claim Act, but adding additional things in there like conflict of interest by Eric Holder, therefore he should step out, or let the person bringing the action to pursue it, or appoint a special prosecutor. So there's so many exciting things going on right now, and just because, and Obama's riding a little high now because of the Osama bin Laden, but so many people are questioning that also at this point, which I can understand, because it seems everything coming out of the White House is questionable. I mean, they're not straight shooters, and, once you lie on one thing, then people start thinking you're lying on something else. I acknowledged, I didn't want to get into that trap. I acknowledged that getting Osama bin Laden was good for the country, but then it really questions what's going on when they show that photo of everyone staring at a screen, but later finding out they couldn't have been watching it live like they implied they had. So, I don't get this administration, but remember, because Obamacare is unconstitutional, Obama is unconstitutional. What I mean is he's not constitutionally eligible to be president of the United States. And that's so important, ladies and gentlemen out there, because remember, he's carrying his BlackBerry. I think he's being blackmailed either internally or externally, and that violates the Constitution, and that was not the purpose for it. there's some people keep saying the father is British descent, therefore Obama couldn't be president. I disagree with that. But my point is the fact that you go by the law in effect at the time of his birth, when only one parent is a natural-born U.S. citizen, and his mother was. But part of the thing with the mother is she had to be live in this country for 10 straight years, and she had to be 10 of those years had to be after. I'm sorry, 5 of those years had to be after. Let me say this: it had to be after the age of 18. The law said at that point she was. It was 14 plus 5. I'm wrong on those numbers. She did not qualify. I'm off of the numbers. Check my website, ObamaCrimes.com. Right. I just got out of court, so I apologize for that. But more important. I mean, I didn't even care if he was. I stated all along, if he was born in Hawaii, it really didn't matter, because he was adopted in Indonesia. It was a legal adoption. His records are there. Barry Sotoro, nationality Indonesia, religion Islam. Now, on that basis, you know, it said acknowledged or adopted. Now, he says my stepfather. So I believe the remarks in his own book sort of buries him on this issue. At age 10, he went back to Hawaii. How did he go? Did he go on the U.S. passport under a FOIA request? No one ever had a request. There's no file on Barack Hussein Obama. We didn't check Barry Sotoro, but we believe he went back on his Indonesia passport, and therefore, I think he's not natural born. He's not only that, he's not naturalized. I think he's an illegal alien, and therefore, we're going to pursue an action against him for the being senator from Illinois, United States senator, because you must be at least naturalized to be a U.S. senator. And obviously, if he can't be a U.S. senator, he can't be president. So the salary and benefits from the U.S. Senate is $1 million. That should go back to U.S. Treasury, plus whatever he's taken in salary and benefits being president. And more important, everything he's done is voidable because he's not legitimate in office. He's a usurper. He does not belong there. So we're going to get more and more people to come out on this thing, and he can keep speaking off his teleprompters, but we want more important things than that. We want the truth. That's what we want. We want the truth about Obama. And I said that August 21st, 2008, when I filed my first lawsuit. I said, show me proof that you're natural born, and I'll go away. Well, he hasn't shown it because he can't. And the document they put out 2 weeks ago, oh, my God, Webster, I could not believe that they would do something that fraudulent. Even the doctor's name doesn't say he delivered it, it just says attested by. So the entire document, and also the number on the document.
The serial number, right, is out of the serial number.
That does not match the number that they put out on the certification of live birth 2.5 years ago when they said that was his birth certificate. So, I mean, there's more holes in this document than Swiss cheese, and I have nothing against Swiss cheese. But we're going to get him. We're going to get him legally. We're going to get him removed from office. It's outrageous. He and everyone around him. I'm back on my basic premise. Howard Dean, Michelle Obama, senior officials from the campaign, senior administration officials, all should be subjected to the criminal justice system. Those tried, anyone convicted should go to jail. And Obama should go to jail until he's deported or they make some kind of deal. This is outrageous conduct. We must stand forth and really stand up together. Anyone out there, when the show's over, go to my website, ObamaCrimes.com. Send it out to all your friends. Tell them we have to stop this nonsense in the White House. We have to stop the charade they're pulling and really stand forth to honor our forefathers who drew up this great document.
Okay, Phil. We'll see you next week, and keep up the good fight. And we'll be back in a minute on World Crisis Radio.